Hello, my name is Igor. I'm honored to invite you to the town, which for me, as well as for many others, has been the center of the universe, and at the same time, the most cozy and fascinating nook. This land of slender, white-trunked dodges can't have any other name except for Bereza, but who gave it such a beautiful name? According to a legend, it was a blind man who washed his eyes with healing water from a spring and miraculously recovered his sight. The first thing he saw was a birch. I'm absolutely confident that after you have seen the place with your own eyes, you will get to like it the way I do. Welcome to our town.
Hello, I'm Katya. Bereza is a town on the river Yasilda. It had many improvements, due to which it had changed out of all recognition. Now, new blocks of flats, streets, new big residential areas add beauty to the town's panorama. Everything that makes the wealth and glory of Bereza has been created by skillful hands of its people.
Hello, I'm Uliana. I'm standing among the ruins of the former monastery which influenced much the history of our town. Bereza was first mentioned in chronicles in 1477 as a village, and the construction of the order of Carthusians monastery under the guidance of Italian architects in the mid-17th century gave a rise to its gradual transformation into a town. Being the only one in the great principality of Lithuania and the double of St. Benet's monastery in the Alps, Bereza monastery became the center of civilization in the area, with a chemist, a hospital, a refectory. It was here that its library of 2,300 volumes was kept. The monastery was surrounded by ditches and reinforced by a defensive wall with great guard towers at its corners. Unfortunately, the monastery wasn't preserved, but this massive gate with loopholes which served as a main entrance to the monastery has been restored later. For tourists who come on a tour to Bereza, this site is a must.
In the course of centuries, the town changed, but it never lost its name for pride and love of freedom. The names of its heroic people have been perpetuated in the name of each street. This quiet and homely street is named after Anatoly Olszewski, a talented publisher and revolutionary, whose courageous life and struggle in the 1920s and the 1930s for freedom of his native land are a vivid example of the heroism of our people. There is a memorial sign of one of these houses on this street, where he was born.
For nearly 2 decades, the western territories of Belarus, including Brest region, had been incorporated in bourgeois Poland as a result of unfair peace treaty with Germany. Throughout all these years, people waged a hard struggle for their rights, for the reunification of Belarus. The long-suffering walls of this building of red bricks are witnesses of those severe years.
Look intently at its worn-out walls. During the Polish reign, the Polish established Bereza Katuska concentration camp. During 5 years of this existence, over 10,000 people who had been fighting the national independence against social and economic oppression passed through the mill of its torture chambers.
Now it hosts the Sports and Arts Center for Children.
The Arts Gallery is a branch of Bereza Museum of History and a modern supermarket.
Now we are walking along 17 Sentября Street. Ardent revolutionaries set examples of selfless service to people. They called on the people to fight for restoration of justice. The liberation came from the Red Army on the 17th of September 1939. A new page in the history of our town was opened.
But unfortunately, people had not much time to enjoy the air of freedom. Their peaceful, creative labor was interrupted by fascist invasion in 1941. Those who could hold arms rose at the call of duty. The victory was gained at the cost of great losses. I'm in Komsomolsky Park. Every year, on the 9th of May, people come to this sacred place in Bereza to bow their respect for those who gave their lives for the liberation of Berioza. The pounding rhythm of metronome, which sounds in hollow silence like an echo of the last war, burns into their hearts the undying heroic deeds. Look at the faces of people standing in mournful silence, and in their eyes you see unceasing sorrow and enormous gratitude. Memory beats into hearts.
We are on the territory of the cultural and patriotic complex in the Old Park. This is the only memorial complex of that kind in the former Soviet republics, devoted to Soviet soldiers and officers killed in Afghanistan. On this monument, in the center, there are the names of our natives fallen in that war.
St. Michael Orthodox Church, whose cupola is built in the form of a warrior's helmet, is a sacred monument to the valor of the heroes. The fountain, Chalice of Tears, is a mournful symbol of mother's tears.
Military battle vehicles of that war remind us of those tragic events. My town has lived through the vortex of terrible ordeals. And yet, there it stands today, strong, young, and beautiful, giving its guests a wholehearted, friendly reception.
We are pupils of school number 2 in Berioza who have tried to get acquainted you with a glamorous page in the history of our town. It goes without saying that the history of our school is a small part of a successful story of its school leavers and the continuation of its traditions. Our school lives its own life and makes its own history. There are many excursion routes in Berioza and Berioza district. The Catholic monastery, the house of Alchevsky AA.
The National Sensibra Street has used Berioza concentration camp.
Old Park, with Archangel Michael Temple Monument, the soldiers who died in Afghanistan, and the fountain, Chalice of Tears.
Komsomol Park, a common grave with 368 Soviet soldiers and partisans.
This excursion route is laid out in the area of school number 2, where I study now.
At the moment we are in a cozy schoolyard where all our students and teachers gather on special occasions. This is the main entrance of the school building, which everyone can see on the side School Tour at Do Point by.
The history of our school dates back to 1959.
In 1967, the school was named School Number 2 in Berioza.
In 1969, the school moved to a new building in Lenin Street. 570 people graduated from school.
In 1978, the school moved to a modern building at 129 Lenin Street.
It's true. We are proud of our pupils and teachers, who are real participants of educational process.
Together, we are moving in the right direction. Our school introduces us to different thought as people, to new scientific ideas, tell us about our country, its history, culture and its present-day place in the world.
School is developing our habits for reading, writing essays, carrying out experiments, making careful observation, acquiring scientific knowledges in all subjects.
Being talented, hardworking and sporty, noble and polite, honest and ambitious, conservative and ready to new collaboration. We are following our traditions.
Our traditions bring us all together to take part in different competitions and contests, conferences and projects.
The headmasters of the school were Vladimir Kondratьевич Lucius, 1963-1993. Ivan Andreevich Grishko, 1993-1997. Святослав Николаевич Guk, since 1997.
204 pupils graduated from school with a gold medal and 166 with a silver medal.
In 2019, the school has celebrated its 60th anniversary. For the period of 60 years, 8,233 pupils graduated from school. 5,400 pupils got A-level certificates. 2,793 pupils got O-level certificates.
Robots, Lego, new computers, we are good at science, technologies, engineering and programming.
Hello, I'm Alexander. I'm 13. I'm studying in 7th form. I like to program robots. It's my hobby. I started programming robots in 5th form. It's very exciting because I can use imagination, so that creates interesting robots to perform various tasks.
Since 2018, under the careful support of High Tech Park, we have been involved in Scratch visual programming, STEM activities and robot design based on microbits. We are lucky to be the first in many competitions connected with programming.
We are thankful for such an opportunity to cooperate with High Tech Park.
Now we are looking forward to further opportunities to improve our knowledge and skills in English, cooperating with the British Council.